What's up, guys? Coming to you. Wanted to talk to you about Mr. Miracle, number 9. So, I just read Mr. Miracle, number 9, the other day, and I've had time to let it sit, and I've got some mixed feelings. I watched, I think, Diversity in Comics review of it, and I agree with some of his things. There's some parts to this issue that are just kind of boring. Um, he spends there's a lot of time where Mr. Miracle and this other guy are just sitting around talking, and I'm not maybe as invested. I don't understand some of the characters as well as some people do, um, but this was just really boring. Like, it's like 3 whole pages of this weird guy talking about knowing like Da Vinci or whatnot. It's so boring. There's like, look how much dialogue there is. I'm just like, I don't want to read all that. Like, it's not that interesting. There were other parts that were really good. The ending is amazing, and I'll spoil that in a minute. But you know, I enjoyed parts of it. So when they're doing the discussions, that's fun. Um, some of the quiet time with him and uh, Barda, that's good. There's a whole mirror thing where they see what they would look like without, all the stuff that happens to them from Great and Goodness, which is really interesting. I didn't understand that. I was glad I watched some other people who explained it, and it means a lot more now that I've seen it or understand what was going on. But then there's just more of this dialogue with this weird guy dressed like an Italian, a Renaissance Italian, and he's so boring. Just like, you could have left all that out. In the end, spoiler alert, what happens is that Darkseid refuses all of their bargains and creates a new bargain. And this is that he will give up everything, pretty much, if Mr. Miracle will allow his son to live on Apocalypse with Darkseid, and as the be raised as the new heir of Darkseid. So really interesting, real crazy twist. So Mr. Miracle has to decide, is he gonna be like his father, the All Father, I think is what it's called. Is he gonna be like his father and give up his son for the sake of the galaxy, for peace, and keeping the anti-life equation from Darkseid and all that kind of stuff, for the greater good of all people? Is he willing to give up his own son like his father was? Because he was raised on Apocalypse as Darkseid's son, whereas Orion was raised on with the New Gods as Allfather's son, and so there's kind of a swap there. And I think Mr. Miracle, if I remember right, has some bitterness against his father for that, being forced to be raised on Apocalypse, and he's got some things to deal with, definitely. And so he has to decide, like, is he willing to make the same decision for his son? And so I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. My only problem with the issue is, honestly, it's hard to really care a lot. I thought that was really good, but it's hard to really identify with the characters anymore because it's been so long. Like, they've drawn this thing out so long. Issue 9 of 12. I'm just like, there's 3 more of these things. Like, the early stages of Mr. Miracle were excellent, and I'm not saying this isn't a good issue. even though like you could rip out like 5 pages and it still be the same. It's be just as good, if not better. Because all the stuff that he talks with that weird Italian guy is boring and useless. It has nothing to do with anything. It's like, why is this in here? It's just filler. So I didn't like that part, but there were other parts that I did enjoy. But DC really just needs to get their act together. So many things DC's been dropping the ball on lately, which is weird because DC's been doing so good compared to Marvel. DC has set the bar high, and they're struggling to keep up with the bar. Oh, so I don't know. DC, they've started a lot of these plot lines, like Rebirth was a big one. Well, they had Convergence, which flopped terribly. I don't think they even finished Convergence before they started Rebirth. And we were like hints and hints about this great villain that was out there that was about to shake everything up and change everything away from what we knew. And I feel like they've forgotten that they even did that, because after they revealed who Mr. Oz was in Action Comics and Superman, man, we haven't had anything. And there's been the Doomsday Clock, which, you know, was super exciting. Everybody was looking forward to it. And, you know, the first few issues were cool, and they just kept postponing them and postponing them. And now it's just like, do they even know what they're doing? Like, do they have a plan? What is going on over at DC? I love DC. I like it way better than Marvel. Even though I like Marvel, DC's much better, I think, overall. It's got better characters and, you know, better stories, I think, than Marvel does. But right now, you know, Marvel's in the gutters, and they're boring and dumb, and they've got all that stupid politics stuff going on. But DC's killing it. Like, they've got all these great great stories, got good writers. Who knew that Bendis was going to be amazing? I'm still holding out, you know, reserving the right to say that, you know, it could be a failure still with Bendis, but 4 issues of Man of Steel in, and it's been great. It's been really great. So I mean, I don't know, but yeah. And I've always said Tom King is not my favorite writer. He's either hit or miss. And I feel like half of this issue was a solid out of the park, and the other half of the issue was swing and a miss, strikeout. And I don't know. You know, I enjoyed it, but you know, DC overall, like, what's going on? Like, there's so many things that they've dropped. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, are the Watchmen still going to be in this universe? Like, is there still that big crossover with the Watchmen? What's going on with Doomsday Clock? Like, I hadn't even read the latest Doomsday Clock, which came out like last month, because I'm just so unattached to it now. Just like, I don't even care. Like, there's no mystery, there's no excitement. Honestly, I don't care for the Watchmen's okay. Some people love it more than others. I'm just like, they're okay. You know, I wasn't too convinced. Like, when I saw that they were going to be a villain against the DC universe, that was awesome. But I just haven't enjoyed those comics. I just haven't enjoyed them as much as I thought I would. You know, so I don't know. DC needs to get their act together. They need to figure out what they're gonna do. Like, they need to lay some hints. Just give us some mystery to drive us on to the next issue, and pull us into the ending. Which means they're gonna have to have some forethought. They have to figure out what's gonna happen before it happens. That would be nice. And then they have to do it. Like, no excuses. Get your comic books out on time so we can buy them on time. And yeah, stop postponing everything. Um, I say this never having written a comic book, and the books that I'm writing have taken forever, but I also haven't published anything yet. So if you're gonna publish things, you've got to push them out. You got to get them out. You've got to have a plan. You got to have consistency. You got to keep your readers engaged. So DC, I love you. I love your characters. I love your universe much better than Marvel. Although I wish your live action, big screen movies were as good as other than Wonder Woman, which was excellent, were as good as your cartoon universe. But there's an idea. Get the guys who write your cartoon universe to write your big screen universe. That'd be awesome. Anyways, so that's all I gotta say. DC, get your act together. Figure out what you're gonna do, and then do it. And Mr. Miracle, it's a good book. I enjoyed it. If you like the fourth world characters and all that kind of stuff, which I do, even though I don't know maybe as much as some people do about them, I really enjoy the idea of the characters. So, anyways, that's all I got. Let me know what you think. What do you think about what DC's doing these days in comics? I will catch you next time. Peace.